when they found her body, she was actually bound, tied, and blindfolded and had dirt in her mouth where she was buried alive. Jasmeen Kaur was kidnapped from the Australian aged care home that she worked at on March 5th of 2021. The month prior to her kidnapping, she had actually filed a restraining order against her ex-boyfriend, Tarikjot Singh, and police had actually cautioned him to stay away from her on February 9th of 2021. Now, he was suspect number one based on their past, so police went and interrogated him, and initially he said that he hadn't seen her, he didn't know anything about her, and where her whereabouts were. But then later, he said, well, actually, she killed herself and asked me to bury her prior to doing so. So investigators were like, okay, well, you've got to show us where the body is so that we can, help her family grieve and recover her, remains. So he leads them down to this remote place about 180 miles away and ends up showing them the body where the remains were, and they uncover her, and what they find doesn't corroborate with his story. So when they found her body, she was actually bound, tied, and blindfolded and had dirt in her mouth where she was buried alive. So police started interrogating him, and this is what actually happened. So on the night before the murder, he had downloaded a map of security cameras in the area. He also switched out the SIM card on his phone, and he asked his friend if he could borrow his car. Then he went to where she worked, kidnapped her, and put her in the trunk of the vehicle and drove out to this remote area in Australia. And that's when he dug a grave for her while she was bound and tied up and threw her in it, and then started reburying the hole. The coroner said that she was actually alive and conscious this entire time. They even said that the dirt that she had swallowed while trying to breathe made it all the way down to her lower esophagus. So they basically said that she was conscious and aware that she was being buried alive and had those thoughts likely running through her head while suffocating on dirt. As for him, he pled guilty to the murder and was given a life sentence in Australia, which for them is roughly 13 years.